That time again, Fit Goddess Tribe back taking over Get On Code. It's time to roll that beautiful beam footage and show you what we really got going on.
All, all right. All right. Welcome to Get On Code, the Fly Guy Show, which is a series of melanated conversations focused on empowerment, health, wealth, and knowledge of self.
People think in binary choices because they are conditioned to.
And on the wall was a picture of a wolf and a lion. I think the wolf was the Democratic Party, the lion was the Republicans.
But the drug trade and all these illegal stuff that people do, that's still economics. It's just that they couldn't do it in a traditional system.
We're talking about melanated wealth.
So we can build wealth, but we just, for some reason, don't seem to be able to transfer it.
You had a great experience. Fine. That means nothing.
What were you told as a child about education? You had to be how many times better?
Every impression without an expression becomes depression.
Hey, I love it. Yo, that'd be my favorite part. It's time to get on code. So, what I like to do is introduce some of my lovely goddesses. I don't travel with anybody else but goddesses. So we have a new face to the crew today. My super favorite Zumba instructor, Atoya. Tell us about yourself, love.
Hey, you guys. My name is Atoya Thomas. I do Zumba at some of the Y's and on the side. I am a plus size fitness instructor, soon to be personal trainer. I also do cleaning motivations on Dat Family 5 YouTube. And then I also am a medical assistant. I'm going to school for my bachelor's right now for my healthcare administration as a stepping stone for my master's of science to become a physician assistant shortly.
That's what's up.
Super dope. I love it. Now, Sam the artist, we know who you are, but tell us again all about yourself.
Greetings all. Sam the artist. I do paint nights. I do working with people through art practicing as well as color practicing and dance movement. So opening and aligning yourself with your natural self as a child, that's what I really focus on. I do perform and I do sell and do art commission wise. I'm a dancer, a writer, and a movement therapist, or more or less. I'm trying not to be a therapist, not yet. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. That's in my future.
Super dope. Yeah, I love it. We got some powerhouse females in the building. And y'all know me. If you don't know me, I'm the Fit Goddess. My passion is health, wealth, and knowledge of self, making sure that we first understand that fitness is 100% mental, and anything that you want to do, you can do as long as you believe in yourself first. So tonight, I got these lovely ladies here with me to talk about healing through the throat chakra. Hopefully my mom will pop in a little bit because she's got some heavy things on the throat chakra. But the reason for the season is my sister Toya. There's something that you deal with, right? Because, again, all of us here are into fitness, health, and wellness, especially for our culture, our community. What is it, sis, that you deal with that brought us here tonight that we want to discuss?
So we want to discuss hypothyroidism. Thyroid is the small butterfly glandular gland that seriously, it deals with everything. It deals with all your hormones. It deals with your whole body, your mental, your way your body grows and the way your body goes down, all those things. So I myself, being a person who has an advanced form of hypothyroidism, I have Hashimoto's autoimmune syndrome or disease. And pretty much it causes me to, whenever I lose weight, I gain weight. Whenever I don't take my medicine, I tend to get into a brain fog. I tend to forget. I tend to be extra tired, regular tired, but extra tired. The reason I wanted to talk to everybody about this was because a lot of times, as with anything in the medical field, which is why I want to be in it and be an advocate for the African-American females and anybody, we tend to not get diagnosed at a quicker rate than any other race. I wasn't diagnosed with ha- Hashimoto's until 2 years ago. And then my hyperthyroidism, I was diagnosed at the age of 20. By that time I was having kids and everything. And hi, how are you? Having kids and all that. So my body was going through all the crazy hormonal changes anyways. But when I turned like 38, 39, it was like, hey, nothing's working. No matter how hard I tried to exercise, no matter how hard I did all the proper things to lose weight and to have the proper rest and everything, I was tired. I couldn't get through school at that time, none of that. And then I found out I have Hashimoto's, is where your thyroid is killing itself. Any autoimmune disease is when your body is pretty much killing yourself. So there's different ways of having to take medications and then proper eating also. So pretty much raw foods, proteins and meats, proteins and veggies, very light carbs for those things. So yeah, that's why we're here.
So, if I could chime in on that, so
Yes.
yes, your stigma, or what the stigma was, what you said, how people, especially us in the community, don't get diagnosed improperly. There's a wonderful book written by Harriet Washington called "The Medical Apartheid," and it goes into great detail about why that stigma exists for melanated people in America, mostly because we were the ones that were experimented on for many of the medical advancements. If you and look at what medical advancements happened in the Western society, it didn't happen until like the late 1800s, which is actually after the Industrial Revolution. So, in the time frame of many of them being over here and creating medical universities and thus needing bodies to examine on. So, who do you think those bodies were? Which is why we have a lot of a stigma towards that situation. I just want to bring that up.
This is true. This is true. And this is why a lot of us don't go to the doctor. I always tell people, I said, make sure you look at your insurance, do your research. Even if you don't have insurance, start doing your research just to see who's out there and what's out there and what you feel comfortable doing. I work at a place where there are multiple providers. And so I tell people all the time, make sure you take care of yourself, but I don't go to the doctors unless I feel sick. But sometimes even when you're not feeling sick, you need to go to the doctor, do your regular annual stuff, and make sure you find a doctor that you are able to connect with, a doctor that you know that's going to advocate for you. If you don't feel connected to that doctor, move on to the next one. You don't have to stay with that one because there's too many out there for you to get your monies. You know what I mean? So I have different ones and I can put them up there for y'all.
That part.
That I can go. That I can, because I don't play. When it comes to me seeing my providers, guess what? They look like me. It's hardly ever get providers that don't look like me, other than where I work at, because they know I don't play like that. So so when it comes to us, we having to take care of ourselves properly and do things like that. I understand the stigma behind it. However, we need to do it. Whether it comes from us doing our exercising, make sure we're eating good, make sure you're getting your rest. For us Black women, rest is the main thing that keeps us from doing all the things and being extra healthy. Because we tend to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. And so I know for me, like my body it shut down yesterday. It was like, you ain't doing nothing. I was like, crap. I want to get up. It was like, you're not getting up. So make sure you get your rest, you hydrate, drink your water, at least half your body weight in water, and make sure you do your veggies and proteins. And then get on with the doctor that you connect with.
If I may interrupt that, I also
Yes.
wanted to add on. That's all that you do need all those things, including getting fresh sunlight. But we
Yes.
really we really don't harp on breathing properly. We don't know how to breathe properly, and because we're not breathing properly, we're actually exacerbating all the illnesses that are in our body, and then making them more or exponentially higher, causing more inflammation and more problems as we go along. So, if I were anyone, I would get on the chance to figure out any kind of YouTube. There's a YouTube channel for it's a guide for a book called Breathe. If you look it up, you find the author, and it will help you learn how to breathe properly. So that you actually can lose weight, because honestly, 80% of your breath, or 80% of that weight that you lose through your breathing. You don't even lose it through your body. It's crazy. So actually learning how to breathe properly can help you manage weight. It can help you manage illness. It can help you manage your temperature. It can help you manage your hormones. All of those are connected through your pulmonary and your luminary circulatory system.
True. Makes sense. Because breathing have to do also with your heart, and your heart moves everything else. So that makes all the sense. All the sense right there. I got you, sis.
So it's super dope. I heard both of y'all say, right? And again, as a fit goddess, I'm always about how mental understanding can change your physical everything. And both of you said that with this disease, as well as just a symptom of being Black in America, right, we end up silencing ourselves when we should really speak up. So, how do we address that issue within our people? Because I do it. I just fell off my bike and I went to the doctor and had the option of getting my knee scanned. And I could have been like, no, it's too much money. It's too, whatever excuse I could have made. Or I did like I was supposed to and got my knee scanned so that I could make sure that absolutely nothing was wrong, because I cannot, while I am a goddess, I cannot play God outside of myself in such a manner. So what can we offer to the people to address this issue of silencing ourselves when it matters most?
You want to hit that first, sis? Because I had something to say.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, so in regards to the scan, I just wanted to address that. So there are many ways to make. If you have to learn how to self, well, you don't have to learn, but there is a way to learn how to self scan yourself without needing the excess of the external machine. Your machine that you work and regulate actually works all the same systems that they're externally creating for you to have to go through. But the reality is that you can learn how to check in with your body itself and then make those regulations that you speak for. Yes, you should get checked. However, there are ways to do this without having to go through external ramifications. Secondly, having to or way to speak up for oneself is a great actual situation, because now both of you who are in here, Miss Toya, you're wearing blue. Mama, who just entered the room, is wearing blue, and the color blue is for communication. It's also for the color of your throat chakra. So when you wear blue, you're heightening what you the power that is within your throat. I actually have it behind me. I've got a little blue painting behind me. That's to help me and help you who visually see it to speak more clearly from your throat. So a great way to unblock yourself or to make yourself more communicative is to wear blue, or eat something blue, or see something blue. Feel the color of blue, because that blue will help open that wheel to keep on turning, and that will be getting the voice that you wish.
So blue is my favorite color. Has always been, has always, and will always be. So I am very communicative, depending on whom it is. My therapist is about to hire me. How about that? So no, she's not. I'm joking. But when it comes to something that I'm passionate about, I speak up. When it comes to other people, I speak up. When it comes to me, I'm still learning because of childhood traumas and childhood changes. So even at the age of 41, I'm like working through those things. You know what I mean? I'm like, but yeah, no, we can move on past how about I feel. Let's how y'all feel. We do what y'all do. My daughter's getting on me.
That's why you can't do that. You can't do that, because that invalidates your feelings, and then your daughters see that, oh, I just need to invalidate my feeling just like my mom
But
did.
my daughters are smarter than me because I allow them to express themselves, and I'm gonna say it like that.
Good.
I have allowed them because I wasn't allowed to express themselves, and so they're like, "Mom, but your feelings do matter." But I'm like, "But it's okay. Whatever y'all want to do." My husband's like, "Shut up and say something." I'm like, "Which one you want me to do?" But I'm getting better with it. It's I'm proud of myself. I spoke up for myself at one of my places of work because I have become pretty much the PC woman, the POC woman that you see when you walk into the building, and some of the other workers don't like it. And so I told the management what was going on. It was like, we need you to be our eyes, because we don't know. We are learning what you see, and we are learning that different type of culture, and we need to change our culture. And the only way we can do it, if you tell us how, and if you show us what we are doing wrong. And I was like, okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to change the culture of where I work and using my mouth that way. At home, I'm getting more vocal with my husband. We've been married for 19 years, together for 24 years. And
Hey.
thank you, girl.
Congratulations.
Hard work. And he wants,
That is, it's hard work.
I'm not a
That's
debater
good.
and I'm not an arguer. And so with him, he likes to debate and argue and like tit for tat and all that. And I'm like, no, if you don't want to listen to what I say, then we're gonna keep moving. But he wants to hear my voice, and he always pulls it out of me. So I'm getting better with voicing myself. It's a thing of one, learning how to model what you need to hear, learning the verbal connotations of it, like learning what you need to say, how you need to say it. Because a lot of times when I know with me, when my age, I was born in the 80s and 90s. You sit down, you shut up, you in a child's place type of thing. And back then that's what they knew, and that's what happened. But as for right now, me growing up, it's not a good thing, because now I don't even know how to talk, or I don't even know how to express or talk about anything, communicate any of my feelings. I don't even know how to feel my feelings. So it's like one of them things of you have to learn how to feel, and how you feeling down in deep side. I don't know, like what's going on in there. I don't know. Like I just had a therapy appointment last week, and she was like, no, I need you to sit still, be quiet for a minute. I need to know what little Toya is thinking. I'm like, okay. And I sat there and she
Mm-hmm.
asked a whole bunch of questions. I got the boo-hoo in and everything. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be crying in here. She said, you are supposed to be crying because you have to cry to get stuff out, to change and to challenge yourself. And so I'm loving my therapist for that. I'm loving learning how to communicate a little better. Even if I don't communicate through my voice, I still text my husband, you made me mad today. I feel this way because you did such and such, such. Or you look sexy today. You know what I'm saying? Even with the pros and cons, positive and negative, you got to you got to be verbal with stuff. So, and I'm going to be quiet again.
No,
Ooh.
but you had a role. It was fine. You were doing the thing. You're right. Because the generation, breaking the generational curse is what's happening, is like the reality that you need for us to go forward. Because honestly, I couldn't talk to my parents. I couldn't create boundaries, but my children can create boundaries and they could talk to me. And that's what I've been asking for like my entire life, is for someone to be able to sit here and have a conversation with me that needs to be had, whether it's pleasant or not pleasant. And then
Yes.
being able to move past that and be okay with whatever the outcome of that is. And that is clear and good emotional regulation, good, healthy relationships. And that's how we bridge the gap from being confused and irritated from someone's standing point, and being able to even see, recognize their point, or have an empathy for their point, whether you agree with it or not.
Yes, for sure. For sure, for sure. Like I said, modeling the
That part.
conversations is really much needed. With my daughters, we have family meetings once a month and as needed after that. Because I want them to be able to express. It's hard for me to express, but let me tell you, my daughters can express whatever they feeling at the moment. They're like, well, mom, I don't think you should have said that. Okay, well, I apologize for saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like we have that open dialect. I know I am proud of how I have raised them so far. I have a 9-year-old and about to be a 13-year-old, and the girls are truly amazing. I'm not trying to be biased because I'm their mama. When I tell you they are amazing, they are amazing. When you meet them, when you see them, everybody tells me how they are beautiful, how they are knowledgeable, how smart they are, and how the teachers be just loathing on. They be loving on them all the time. So yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. I absolutely love it, yo. I
That's
absolutely
gotta
love it.
feel
So,
really good. Oh,
right
beautiful.
now, Mama, help us out here because I love that both of y'all wore the blue. Sam, thank you for putting the blue in the background. I had another shirt that I was gonna wear, but I really got caught up in this poetic justice. You know what I'm saying? Like what y'all are saying is poetic justice. Uh, again, being able to speak about your issues, your mistakes, your lessons, and not be ashamed of them. Now, y'all saw I threw up the little books, right? Because I've been called the library. So, real quick, I just want to throw out a couple of books. And, ladies, if you know any books that can help people, Atoya, you had mentioned knowing the verbiage. That is a big thing. Being that I still have kids and they're in grade school, one of the big things we're doing is words, teaching words, communication. You cannot speak if you don't know what you're saying. So, an awesome book teaching language and the language of emotion is by Brene Brown, Atlas of the Heart. It's one that I study for my practice because in working with people, the brain categorizes things by just, simplicity. So whatever is pain, and everything gets shoved in that folder. So if I am invoking pain during a fitness session, then what is going to happen to most of my clients is whatever kind of pain that they're going through, whether it's residual or somewhere back in there, it's going to come back up. But if they're not taught the difference between anger and frustration or sadness and let's say being lonely, those words give a different root to the way we solve a problem. Another book that is really good based off of what you ladies has been talking about is Attached. We make a lot of different attachments in this world to individuals. Some of them are anxious, some of them are avoided, some of them are a mixture of the two, and some of them, what we're going for is a secure attachment, right, to ourselves, to those around us. And like I said, I just want to drop them quick books, right, so that you can exercise your mind and continue to grow. But ladies, what is we talked about Hashimoto's a little bit. And sis, please, as more information as you can give us as the conversation continues, please continue to give it to us. But mom, tell us, how can we, right, remove any blockages that may be inhibiting us from speaking up and speaking clearly and telling people respectfully, of course, what's on our minds? How can we say it with our chest and still keep the peace, so to speak?
Well, first of all, hello everyone, and I apologize for for being late. I was stuck in the green room.
I was like, is her
um,
mic on?
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Say something.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, ma'am.
okay, I wanted to make sure I could hear you.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
So, um, everything I've heard so far, and I've been kicked out 3 times, but I've heard a lot, and I think I know you've got to feel good about having daughters that vocally are courageous like that. And basically, what the throat chakra is is your speech center. So if you have issues with courage and speaking up for yourself, that's where you're going to find those issues that relate to a lack of self-expression or having it cut off or a lack of communication or an imbalance in that chakra. You're going to notice you know physical ailments because those are emotional and mental that came from somewhere, like you said, sis, from your childhood where you weren't maybe not have been allowed to speak. So speaking your personal truth may be a problem. Expressing your thoughts, expressing communication, stuttering is a result of um, um, an imbalance in the throat chakra. Sore throats all the time, strep throat all the time, and believe it or not, a stroke
Hmm.
is one of the worst possible things that could happen as a result of not expressing yourself or having an obstruction in your throat
I can
chakra.
see that. I can see that.
Because what it is I want to say something, but I can't. And you're holding, that inside, and you hold it so long that the body just you're not going to say it. Okay, well, you're not going to say it. I'm going to shut you up. And I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but the as real or unreal as you want them to be, or as much as you, or in as much as you believe or disbelieve in the reality or the theory of chakras and whatever they want to call it. Oh, that's weird. That's heebie-jeebie. What do you call it? Witchcraft or voodoo, whatever name they want to give it. It doesn't take away from the fact that this is not a science that a person who is arrogant can understand. Because if you don't recognize and respect all the things that the body is made up of that you cannot see, then you end up disrespecting what you can see. And that is why we're sick. Because the body will tell you what's going on before it gets to the point of complete disease. Chronic sore throat, mouth ulcers, gums disease, laryngitis, thyroid issues, and things like that are all the result of issues with the throat chakra. And it's a frequency that has to resonate, and that's why we were given the gift of speech. Believe it or not, the word person means through sound.
I believe it.
So when all of these religions and cultures say there was the word and the word was God and God spoke, all of them say, they just say it in different languages and different manners. That's real. We are sonic beings. We move and vibrate with sound waves, and speech is our sonar, persona, through sound. And so when we are not resonating there, we don't have that vibration working, then you're going to have some neck issues, you're going to have goiters, you're going to have, it's just important to speak your truth. Most of the issues are a result from not speaking the truth, your truth, or holding it in,
Yo,
or fearing
that is
expressing it.
phenomenal thing you just said, Mom.
So, you would, I'm
Absolutely,
sorry, you asked
absolutely.
me, what can we do? So one of the things you can do, I mean, I don't know, it says you're weird for having stones around, but there are different stones that can help you. I have a collection of stones right here. I don't know if I can turn my phone around, so I won't try. This one right here, ever heard of chalcedony? It's some type of agate crystal. You can wear it as jewelry. We can put
Those
it
are
on you.
lovely.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got lapis lazuli is a very good one for the throat chakra. Aquamarine, sodalite. A lot of them are blue, if you notice. Right. And what is that? Crucicola. This one. It's kind of greenish. But there's things you can do. You can wear the jewelry, you can wear the stones, you can go. There's physical things you can do. You can gargle. You can do yoga, which like the plow or the fish pose are very good asanas for the throat chakra. Some more stuff will come to me
May I
over
add some,
time, but
Mama?
I'll shut up for now.
Yo, I
I was
love it.
hoping to add
And
some
then
on to
I've
that.
also heard that for the chakras, if you have like blue glass, you can charge it in the blue glass and drink the water from the blue glass. Have it's been charged by the
I've heard
sun, help
that one
open
too.
the throat
That's what I was gonna
chakra.
tell you.
Say that again.
That was
Look
what I
at
was gonna
that. The
tell her. Yeah,
goddesses
you
are
can
in
drink
alignment.
the water. So instead of and in alignment of that, you can also eat the color. So if you want to imbibe the color, it's just like any other light form because all color is light. So it's just the way that you look at it in the sound waves or the light frequency and way it comes into you. So if you wear the color blue, if you keep blue around you, if you want to eat the color blue, you can. All of those things actually help embrace your throat chakra, including drinking the water blue. You can literally put water in a blue glass or put water in a clear glass and put a blue color around it, let it sit in sunlight, let the water polarize, and you've gotten yourself now something that's infused specifically for your throat chakra, which you then will drink and say thank you for, and all with the intention of clearing any blockages through your throat with the water. So it's the intention you set behind what you use that actually can help you clear many things. So I just want to add that.
Ooh, she said it's the energy behind the thought process
Always.
that you do anything. So before you actually start to begin to like do anything, sis said that you have to first believe that the thing that you're about to do or say, right? Because
It's already
fit
done.
got to try. We always say we think it, we say it, we do it, right? Start thinking that this is powerful. Doesn't matter whatever the thing is, right? You could be like me and my mom and have I have my little shrine box of crystals, you know, that has this is my homage to my inner child, right? It allows me to keep myself in tune with that version of myself, with the higher spirit of myself that allows my inner child to speak freely with that protection, right? Whatever it is that you feel like you're going to do, um, or that you want to do, that you desire to do or become, you have to first believe it here because as above, so is below. But it takes time for everybody. You know, I remember being the person that was shy. You know, so those of you that know the old version of me would be like, yeah, she was. She was in the back of the class. She won't talk to nobody. And then somewhere in there, I made a decision that my voice mattered, my presence mattered. Um, that what I had was powerful to say and worthy of hearing. But there's a lot of us still trapped out there that don't feel like we have a voice or that our voice doesn't matter. Um, if y'all seen that movie, I've been watching The Silent Twins, right? It's very interesting the power that they derive from silence because it is powerful. No answer is an answer. But if we're trying to encourage people to open and speak up, how do they find their voice? For me, it was through dance. For a lot of women, I think it's through dance. Uh,
I got an
what was
answer.
your way?
I just was doing this with a client, and one of the ways that I found that are really helpful is to chant your name. So if you say your name to yourself in a chant, like breathing in and yeah, and saying out your name as you breathe out, it not only encourages you to tune into your body and your cells because you are literally chanting a rhythm or frequency to link up to. So if we're all frequency beings, then all we need to do is vibrate to the level of connection and opening up to ourselves, which then will allow you to be more courageous in speaking because you are this name. And once you finally do 3 or 4 or 5 chants to yourself, yelling your name out loud, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's
No,
very
it doesn't.
empowering.
It makes sense. It sounds very
Well, it's definitely not
empowering.
ridiculous because that is what you've been given
Mhm.
and responded to your whole life from other people.
Yeah,
When they call your name, you answer. But when you call your name, you need to answer.
for sure.
Ooh, it's not what you are called, it is what you are answered. Then, and okay, so taking it back to my Christian roots, right? They say there's power in that name. And that being your name, there's power in your name. And then in learning from like customer service, one of the greatest things that we can ever do is call someone,
Yes.
especially ourselves, by our name. Hence the reason why y'all can just call me
By
Goddess from
the
now on,
name.
right?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
actually have another comment about that. I have another
With
comment about that faith thing.
Hashimoto's. Come on, bring it
Oh,
on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. It's just like if I don't know if you ever saw the Indiana Jones movie. It was like the Last Crusade, and it was the one where he's trying to find the chalice. And he has to cross this invisible, like he has to cross from one opening in a cave to the next opening in the cave, and he doesn't know how. And he's like, "There's nothing here." And the part of the riddle was like he had to figure that he had to walk out in faith. Now, I'm not big on Christianity, but I am a big on the concept of that you have to believe it before it becomes a thing. That's just like anything. If you want to make a cake, you have to think about what you have to make for the cake first. Then you go get the things for the cake and then you make the cake. You didn't just like make a cake and then think, oh, I'm going to make a cake today. That's not how it works. You work the idea first and then it works itself out. So that I just wanted to tag into that faith concept because it's the same thing. Even if you find in other
mhm.
religions, it's it's called faith, but it's whatever you believe in your head first and then bring into reality.
So
That's
yeah,
right. And that again, I gotta drop another book.
oh, sorry.
Hold on, mama. Let me drop this book real quick. The Little Red Hen, right? My
Oh, it's
favorite
my favorite.
adolescent childhood book to emphasize her point, right? The Little Red Hen. She goes
That's
around
my
and says,
favorite.
I want to bake bread, right? My 6-year-old, when he read it last year, oh, he did it so great. But if you want to do anything, like she said, you've got to have a plan, you've got to have execution, you've got to have discipline, and then you've got to have the biggest thing that the book says, right? You got to have support. Now, that don't mean that you can't get it done by yourself, but African proverbs, many hands make light work, and that's all Chicka Little was looking for, or excuse me, the little redhead was looking for was a little help. At the end of the day, everybody wanted the results of her discipline and her hard work, but they didn't want to help. I'm sorry, Mama. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
No, no. I just was agreeing, and I agree with you too. That that's one of my favorites, the Little Red Hen and Henny Penny. Shh, don't tell anybody. But if you get to the place where you can't, you're stuck. Here you got your frog in your throat, or you're hurting, or you can't say, or you can't feel, you can't express yourself, and you can't, and things don't work. Right? It's getting worse. There you can't get a prescription from a doctor for courage. I mean, what kind of pill can he give you to have you have courage? Teach you to have courage. You and the goddess is right. You start here. You think about what you're going to do, what you want to manifest in your life, what you would like to see happening. You visualize it in your mind's eye. I want to see myself talking to my husband calmly and softly and coming to a resolution, or my wife with loving moral support. I don't want to hear any screaming and hollering. I just want to be calm. I'm laying on their chest, or he's in his arms, or she's laying on my chest, or whatever. You visualize that because that's what you want to express. And then you express that calmly. Now, Sam made a valid point, and so did Koya. Is it Koya?
Atoya.
Atoya.
Yes, ma'am.
You have to be committed to, once you express and say what you're going to say, what the consequences will be. So you want to be careful in how you project and how you say it. There's people out here. There's energy healers, Reiki healers. We got them right up here on this show. Yoga instructors that can help you unblock that channel, that broken channel. And once you understand how important it is to express, because we were brought here to express, we were brought here to say what needs to be said, and our voice is the thing that carries that thing out. We can do things with our hands, but sometimes the woman in the grocery store who's letting her little baby boy put candy in his pocket, she might need to be smacked upside the head along with him. I know that's gross. I don't mean it that way, but I'm just saying in general terms, somebody has to be the voice of reason. And if you find yourself in the position where what you have to say needs to be, it needs to be said, and you're afraid to say it, what is the fear? You're specifically in a position to say what needs to be said, and you don't say it, is just like murder. When you really think about it, you were put here to do something, and you didn't do it. Well, you failed. You failed your mission. So we don't want. And then you may get another opportunity and another. You might be lucky enough to get 3 or 4 opportunities to say it. And if you don't say it, don't be shocked when the throat chakra gets locked and blocked. You see, it's very important expression. That's how important it is. It's a mission.
Now,
I couldn't agree
she
more.
says submission. Go ahead, sis. I tag it. Go ahead.
Who are you talking to?
Sam.
Oh,
Sam was talking.
come on, Sam.
I can't really hear anybody. It's kind of going in and out for me. I'm sorry if you were addressing me.
Oh.
Okay, no worries. So submission, right? I got a massage today. Sweet
Ooh.
Lord, baby Jesus. I know, right? So let me preface real quick. As women, we talk often about the need to rest, the need to recover, and a hot topic in relationships between people is submission. However, I bring up the massage because there is a certain level at which you have to submit to the person who is rubbing on you to relieve said pressure. Um, Even in submitting to yourself, right? There is a certain amount of grace and peace that you have to allow yourself for your perceived flaws, your misconceptions, your trial and error, right? The things that you have learned through, but you have to submit to yourself to be like, yo, that was me. And now I can grow from that. I can change from that. And again, this is a powerful thing, like mom was saying and Sam was saying. If you speak these things out loud, and I always have my children do these things, it is very, very important to hear yourself say these things. One, you sound different to everyone else than you sound to yourself because of the distance in which the sound travels from your ear to their ears, right? You still hear your voice in your head even though you're not speaking aloud. So one, it's powerful to hear it here, but it's even more engage all of your senses and speak those words out loud. Submit yourself to yourself and be like, hey, it's cool to, it's not crazy. I know a lot of black people, a lot of
No, it's not.
pro black people, whatever you want to say, will call you crazy for talking out loud to yourself. However, if you don't listen to yourself internally and externally, you're kind of missing the point.
I think that's just
But
a lot
I
of
have some
the.
questions for you. With
Oh,
Hashimoto's,
okay.
right? No, no, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
I was gonna say that it's just like another social construct kept from us. That was one of our natural ways of moving through the world and a way of staying in connection. Because if you go back even into other older histories, you'll find the hermit who lived with himself, who talked to himself, or the old witch or the old woman who's by herself talking to herself. Because that's who else are you gonna be talking to for the rest of your life? It's you. There's no one else you're gonna be talking to. It's gonna be you talking to you, helping you do you. So you should definitely talk to yourself.
I always say it's good to talk to yourself, but don't talk back to yourself.
Well,
Well, you know what
I
I'm
don't know.
saying?
I don't know
If I'm
about
having
that.
a moment with my team, sometimes call and response. You know what I mean? I turn to myself,
Yeah, I
say,
got
what
a, I
you
got a
got
team. I
going
got a
on?
team.
Oh, Lord.
I will tell you this as far as talking back to yourself.
Okay.
If you're ever in a position where you're not sure about what you want to say and how it needs to be said, or so you have a throat chakra issue and you're toiling with how you want to say it, it is it is beneficial sometimes to even stand in the mirror and practice saying it, saying to yourself, and talking back to yourself and pretending you're the other person, what they could say, what would their response be and whatnot. If
Okay.
you have that issue with uh, obstruction in your chakra and your ability to express yourself, then it would be good. It would be a good thing to talk to yourself and answer yourself until you're comfortable with how you want to present the conversation.
Okay.
Because you want everybody, you want it to be a win-win. You don't want to create conflict and certain things you know are triggers to the person that you're talking to. You know, if I say this, ooh, yeah, I could slice them good, you know. But you don't, if you want the conversation to be beneficial, you don't want to put a person on the offensive. You want to be incorporative and inclusive, you know. And I don't know, speaking as a human being, as a life
Yeah,
coach, and all the things that I am, but you know, as a friend, a person in a relationship, it's critical how you express. And there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with practicing what you're going to say before you say it.
yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense because my husband tells me all the time that I need to practice what I say and how I say it because I do sometimes. I'm a Capricorn, so and I'm smack dab in the middle of a Capricorn. My birthday is December 31st, and I was born in the morning, and so I'm a December Capricorn, and
So you're ruthless?
I can be, I can be, I
So you're
can
ruthless. That's what I
be.
hear.
I can be very ruthless. And I try my best to not to because I've been taught to be more, be more soft. But sometimes that tone seems to pop out sometimes. And I've been trying to be better with that. So that makes
That's good.
sense. That makes much sense, Miss Roslyn. Thank you so much.
All right.
So here's this thing
You're
about
welcome.
femininity, right? Because we always talking about the divine feminine energy. We know that as women, right, our octave, once we get too high, it's no longer central. Ain't nobody hearing us. It's like shrill, depending on how your natural regular tone sounds, right? But
Right.
most people know you catch more with honey than you do with vinegar. So as a woman, the power of our octave, our tonal voice, and our throat chakra is that we don't have to be as boisterous to command attention, and to get the things that we need done. You know, if you look at an empress on her throne, she often doesn't call for anything. It's more of a gesture. Please come here, and then it happens. You know, my mom says it all the time. What? Off with his head. There's not a lot of words, because as feminine energies, our power lies more so in our thought, than it does in anything else. And with that sheer thought, that changes our body language, it changes our position, it changes our posture, it changes the way that we're received in the world. It's very, very powerful to have that much control over your thoughts and feelings, and then s- push that out into the world. Uh,
I feel like that
Question.
speaks to the power of silence,
A
though.
lot of us get missed. Go
I
ahead.
always interrupt questions. I was gonna say that that speaks to the power of silence. So, like we were talking earlier about being silent. I did a retreat with someone recently. Have you ever get a chance to check her out? It's Ina Maka or Shonda the Healer, or Medi Mami. Look her up. She's amazing. But we had a moment or morning where we just didn't speak. We for the whole morning until like came lunchtime, and it was really it was really pleasant. It's just to be like you don't have to say a word. We have to communicate other ways, and then having to put that into other expressions of the body is so much more beautiful. And as a dancer, that really helps. And then, of course, when you realize if you know that the anatomy of your throat, the opening looks like a yoni. It's you're birthing a creation. You're birthing sound every time you speak,
That's
and it's a
right.
direct connection from your yoni to your yoni. There's one line. It's like
That's
even
right.
if you go through all the other bullshit, it's just one line. So you're creating from top to bottom, like Charles said in the beginning, from as above, so below. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up.
There's a song. I'm going to fake sing it. Y'all know I like to sing, but I can't sing that well. Where'd it go? You don't have to say a word. It's written all over your face. There you go. I ain't gonna sing it. It's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. It's so powerful, and this is
Hmm.
where a lot of people get that resting bitch face, because it's written all over your face. We see your thoughts. As a personal trainer, I tell people all the time, you don't have to lie to yourself, because you are not lying to me. When I look at you, I can tell what you are or are not doing in terms of your self-love and self-care. And I really don't like if you're going to try to um, make me believe the lie that you've told yourself. job help you heal from whatever reason is causing you to lie to yourself in such a manner, and then correct it, change it so that we can, again, open your mouth and speak so we can find the root of the problem and actually change the outcome.
Oh, I'm trying not to interrupt this time. My bad.
You're
Oh, no, no, no.
good.
I
I
paused.
mean,
I
I've been
paused
interrupting this
for that
entire time.
reason.
Like,
No, no, you're not interrupting. You're part of the
um,
conversation. But
Yeah.
I want to
I
sneak in
appreciate
right
you.
quick and say that to focus on your breath. Believe it or not, there's a breathing technique called the lion's breath that's believed to be beneficial to the throat chakra. Um, it helps you get rid of toxins. It stimulates your throat and your chest area, and it helps to ease the stress. And it's a simple exercise. You just breathe through your nose, open your mouth and your eyes open real wide, and stick out your tongue, and basically roar like a lion. Roar your breath out audibly, and the breath you exhale should be like a lion's roar. So that is just one of the things that I guess we're probably going to be teaching with the chakra classes, breathing techniques for each chakra. But that's the one that we use for the throat chakra. It's called the lion's breath, and you just basically just roar like a lion. I'm not going to do it. You can do
I would love to do it. Roar, roar.
Yeah,
I am a
growl.
lion. Roar.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I'll say this too. You guys have been very you're very knowledgeable. I really want to get to the bottom of some of the issues that are associated with Hashimoto's and the treatments that they have that are, to me, outrageous. Um,
Yes.
I I'd really like to work with, some of the people who are dealing with that. I have a lot of that in my own family: Graves' disease, hyperthyroidism, Crohn's disease, and things like that. And want to start focusing on some of the things that can be done holistically to help people with those problems, as opposed to just medication and prescription drugs that are harmful and cause more
Oh, you mean
damage. So, yeah,
traditional Western medicine? You mean? Yeah.
yeah. So, but
Uh,
thank you guys for your information, your input tonight has been, I think, invaluable, and you guys know so much. Toya,
well,
you
I deal with it on a day to day. It's the
Well,
yeah.
most
thank
crazy
you.
thing. Like, no, thank y'all for allowing me to come in today, Jara, and everybody else. I have like the symptoms is crazy, and I'm learning with myself that if I do certain things, I'm better. I've been trying to wean myself off my medicine, which makes it worse. However, I'm learning other things as with the chakras and those things like that, that were already embedded in us before we were transported here. So these are things I'm trying to get back to, if that makes sense. So I appreciate y'all for being on the show and being here. I don't know what else to say. I'm just enjoying the conversation and having a little bit of fun time with the ladies.
Listen, I absolutely love it because it is you as a personal trainer, meeting you telling me about the disease that you suffer from. There are so many underlying diseases that our community go through, from the biggest ones that I always see: vision, hearing. Those ones you can't see by looking at them unless you know what you're looking for. You can tell when
Yeah,
somebody can't hear because they may get frustrated because they're asking you to repeat something often, right? Me, I can tell when somebody can't see because they're starting to squint a lot. But Hashimoto's, I would have never known if you didn't tell me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it's
That
those kinds
that
of
and
diseases that. Go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
see every time. No, that and like you
Hold up.
having you having like issues of apparently with losing weight and not being able to keep it off. A lot of conversation about us in the community is how we are physically, especially considering after all the trauma that we've been suffering through for the last 400 years, it's really difficult to not see that that trauma is being placed out in the way that we eat and the way that we live, and then having that stigma on our bodies about not having the correct body type according to the BMI that's made for European individuals who's not made for you in the first place. So like that that confusion leads to and can lead to like being generally upset about how you're viewed and what you're trying to do for your own health. So when people
This is true.
say, well, people have to love yourself for being healthy, right? But how
Yeah.
healthy and what does that health mean to you? It's a different health to me. For me to be healthy, I need to be this size. For you to be healthy, maybe you need to be some other size. So
Yeah.
that problem that we have amongst ourselves.
So the beginning of my story, I was at 565. I am now down to 286, around there somewhere. And in the middle of my story, I got down to 250 and I got back up to 411. At that point, I had Hashimoto's. My body was fighting me. And so I was like, let me go get this thing called the VSG. And that's what I got 2 years ago. And so I've been staying steady for the last 6 months with the 285. And so I know that with me, I'm not going to get under 100. I'm not going to get under 200. I don't want to. My body will look weird. My body's not built that way. There's nobody in my family even healthy that way. So I don't even go by the BMI. If it goes down, it goes down. If it doesn't, okay. My activity level and the way my energy is how I measure myself. Because I am very active. Jara will tell you, I teach about 5 times a week, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. I'm a Zumba instructor, I'm a water instructor. I am active. I'm not a sedentary person. Never have been, never will be. Today I got on my car. I had to fix something on that. We were doing lawn work. I don't sit down. And so there's no reason for me to be as big as I got. So it's all because of this thing here. And like I said, I'm trying to find multiple different ways to get that done. That is true, Mr. Cooper. Gut health is very important. Yes, 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 yes. Um, but I'm just, I for me, Jara met me and she loved me. And as with most people, they see me, they look at me when they first walk into my class. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a whack class. And then they walk out, oh, this is the best class ever. And I'm like, well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, the weight thing is
Thank you
not.
for stating what I already know. Thanks.
And it's sad that sometimes with me, I feel like I have to prove myself to people. Not really prove, but I have to be like, okay. And even to the point, John would tell you, my students, the members and students that come to my class, they're like, please don't look at her like that. Because she's really going to kill us even the more if you look at her like that. We don't got that much time. Yes, I'm sorry. And so, yeah, so
No, you good. Looks can be deceiving, yo. Yours is my favorite class to come into at the last minute and look at the diversity and the myriad of ages, races, creeds, religions, sizes of people. You know what I'm saying? And just watch them all yield and submit to the way you instruct. And you don't have to yell, you choose to yell because you get excited. And as a former dance and fitness instructor, I get it. You get amped up and your voice becomes so powerful, like uh Ariel, you know what I'm saying? Like, again,
yeah.
sorry, Disney princess over here, right? Uh, they stole her voice and she was still able to get the man because her thought process was so powerful. Yet I digress, right? This woman here, um, throughout her disease that we cannot see, right? We judge a lot of books by their cover because of what our perception is. And this young woman here, one, made notes for the show to come on and talk to us about a disease that she suffers from. And actually, I won't even say suffers, right? She manages, which is all of
That's
what
right.
everyone on this show is doing to some degree in their life. We're um, what we've been through, what we've experienced. We're learning how to leave what doesn't serve us and pick up things that do. The whole purpose of the show, the takeover, is to help guide those that may be lost out there, that are looking for someone to be a light, looking for someone to join the quote unquote Me Too movement of whatever it may be. You know, there may be hopefully someone out there that has Hashimoto's and sees that you're active. And I often, as a fitness instructor, as a personal trainer, say, hey, it's not about the size. Like you said, it's about the health. It's not a shape that we're going for. It's really a feeling. Do you feel, like you said, active? Do you feel healthy? Do you feel in tune with your body? Do you feel like it is a phenomenal place to love and live and be and grow? Um, if not, then to change. Yeah.
Fix it.
That part,
That's
that
right.
part,
Fix
fix
it.
it because there's nothing
There's
you
nothing
can't you
wrong.
can't leave the body. You better work on it.
Yeah, you gotta fix it. If you don't, if you're not feeling like you can get up in the morning, you need to. Hey, what I need to do to change that? Like, even when it comes to mental health, I'm sorry, I know for me this year I started a lot more on my mental health. So I wake up to Pretty Brown Skin by Alton King. I wake up to Pretty Brown Girl. Everything, because I've been having issues with me being me. And so it's like Miss Rosin said, you have to talk to yourself and talk back to yourself and know that you are okay. You're beautiful just the way you are. There's nothing wrong with you. You're okay. You're good. You're good. You're good. And then, the society norms are not your norm. So that's what you got to learn yourself. Learn to yourself. Teach to yourself. Yeah.
I
Toya,
love it.
have you
And you know,
tried
I'm a
journaling at
huge
all? I don't know.
proponent.
I
Oh, yeah, that's good. Keep
So
going.
I also have
yeah.
ADHD. So the journaling, I do it on Sundays. And then I go back like, dang it, I didn't journal the rest, but I'm working on it. I'm working on the journaling. That's the one thing I have. Like, my husband, like, you have like too many planners. I'm like, shut up. I need all of them. One's for parenting, one's for talking about you, and then one's for
Well, don't let it limit yourself to paper. If you have a phone,
Yo,
just like record your
I
thoughts
got 70.
and then play them back. So
Oh, okay.
there's a thought too.
I'm working on that too because I record my therapy
Mm.
sessions so I can go back and listen to them and see what I need to fix throughout the week. And when not fix, but work on. And then so that makes sense to do that too. So thank you so much for reminding me to do that.
Of course. Thank you.
Listen, that is a big one. She had me on back to the throat chakra, right? Listening to yourself is phenomenal. I know it's very difficult. Sam, the artist, knows she witnessed me try to do a voice memo, and my frustration in hearing myself talk it's just insane. But simply because we don't often listen to ourselves. We say a lot of things. Mama, what the song say? They talking loud and saying
And saying
nothing.
nothing.
Right? We've got to
Say nothing.
listen to ourselves and also hear ourselves to gauge the quality of the words that are coming out of our mouths. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be um half stepping with our lingo, right?
Ain't no half stepping. I'm sorry.
Well, here's
Mr. Cooper, that's a
question.
good track.
Here's the question. For everyone, where's your voice? Where is your voice? Ask yourself, where is my voice? Am I saying all the things I need to say? The important things. Because, everywhere you look, you're on some kind of ship. You're on some kind of relationship. Is that work, your kids, your husband, your wife, your children, your in-laws, you're in relationships everywhere. And something somewhere is not working, and it's not. So you got to make it work. And these are the methods where you're going to use what you're talking about now. A disease is just what it is, but it happened in the mind first before it ever was physical. If you feel like you don't have the right to say something and you grow up that way, when you get older, you're going to have a hard time expressing yourself because you were taught not to. And people
This
don't
is so true.
realize telling kids to shut up is you can do that, but if you do it too long, you know, it's a consequence.
There is a
So when
consequence.
so you grow up, thinking that you don't have the right to say things, and they don't realize that this can actually turn into a physical manifestation, a disease. I'm not saying that's your case or anybody else's. I'm just saying
Hmm.
that it all starts here first. It all starts here first. So if you have something that you need to say,
Ooh,
say
to
it.
drop another book.
Go ahead. The
Say it.
librarian.
Say it with your chest. No, no. Yeah, I'm saying I got
Say
the
it with your
glasses to
chest.
prove it and whatnot. But seriously though, say it with your chest. There's a book
Hmm.
called The Body Keeps Score. One of a phenomenal, phenomenal book. It talks about how we suffer trauma, and that trauma turns mentally into a physiological ailment. So, however the reaction is, like Mama was saying, maybe you were suppressing your voice, and now, and again, not speaking about my sis here, but it's a potential. Maybe you have hypothyroidism because of that suppression, or maybe you get an ulcer, or maybe you get fibromyalgia, maybe you go blind. You never know what your brain will shut down to not feel certain receptors anymore, especially if it's causing your body pain. Remember that our body is meant to feel good. Its whole entire job is designed to give us this life of freedom, health, and wealth. And if you start to go against that natural design, your body will not want to live. Um, Man, again, the body keeps score because Mama said it. You know what I'm saying? The things you think can turn into ailments and create disease, and we're trying to bring ease back into the world.
Yes.
I have one statement on that, because you made perfect sense into something that I just read about again in that book, Breathe. I can't remember the dude's name, but the book is called Breathe. It's a yellow book. Get a chance to pick it up. It talks about the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is what you get when you are feeling good. It releases oxytocin in your brain. It allows for the dopamine to set in, lets you feel real good. Now your sympathetic nervous system is the opposite of that. It's the one that you use when you're ready for fight or flight. Now, it's triggered by anything that causes you a stress where you feel like you might die. And that is based on even how you might not be accepted by your family for speaking something. So if you say something, you want to say something, but you feel like you're not going to be accepted and you have a fear, then your sympathetic nervous system is on track, and now you immediately start getting all the gears up to like fight or flight. The problem is that once you do that, which by the way happens almost instantaneously in the body, it takes like an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours for the body to get back to normal, regular regulation. So it's important to regulate yourself in those manners so that you don't have to take hours to settle your body back down, which again causes all kind of other problems, which is what she's talking about. The sympathetic nervous system can cause huge problems in your body, especially if it's consistently running all of the time. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up.
Oh dear.
Super dope. So we ain't gonna get too much heavier on them, right? Because we've got to care for ourselves, and it's late, and we a bunch of old ladies. Somebody got to go to bed, because somebody got to get up early. Somebody got to eat. You know what I'm saying? So now at the show, we've discussed how your throat chakra, right, which is denoted by the color blue. Thanks for wearing blue, ladies, right? There's a correlation between that thyroid gland and your inability to express or communicate feelings. And we've learned that that suppression, just like it shows in the beginning clip, right? Any expression impression without an expression leads to depression, right? To depress anything, you're suppressing it, you're trying to keep it down. And the thing is, right, we learned, and back to my Christian roots, that we got to let our light shine. We can't dim the light. that resides within us, whether it's our thoughts, feelings, or emotions, right? We have to expand and create more room for us to be our unique selves. And with that note, ladies, it's your time to shine. Say it with your chest. Let's start with Atoya and then Sam and then Mama, and I'll close out. Tell me who you are. Tell me where we can find the things. Tell it like it is.
All right. So once again, my name is Atoya Thomas. I am a plus size Zumba instructor, about to be personal trainer. I am also a YouTuber. So some of my Zumba stuff is on YouTube at Atoya Thomas 3123. And then I also do cleaning motivation and DIY inspiration on my other YouTube channel. That is called DAT Family 5, DAT Family 5, Douglas Atoya Thomas. And you can find me on those handles, Dat Family 5 on Instagram and Facebook.
That's what's up. I'm about to follow you. Um, so my name, yeah, I'm Sam the artist, also known as Golden Flow the Funkhauser. You can find me at underscore Golden Flow the Funkhauser ZHE. Once you find in Golden Flow, it's just you'll see the black and white picture. It's me. You can't miss me. And I'm also found under Des Kalima under Instagram. That name actually, if I can explain for like 2 seconds, was a name built to myself after I had to tear apart my life so I can rebuild it again, which is what Kalima is known for. She is the goddess of rebirth and destruction. You could find me there, DASSKALIMA, and you can also find me at my Patreon, Empress Leo, for to support me in my arts. It's like only $5 to support me and my artistry and all the various ways that I do art. So I appreciate that. And yeah, you can see me there.
I am Rosalind Collins, your life coach. I am the owner of Alchemic Aura, and I am a certified life coach and personal fitness trainer, wellness coach, and I am at alchemicaura.com is my website. And you can also find me under heal.me under my name, Rosalind Collins, and you can find me on Instagram under Alchemic Aura and Facebook under Alchemic Aura and Twitter under Alchemic Aura and LinkedIn under Alchemic Aura. So
all the shows.
Wait a minute. So can I find you under Alchemic Aura? I don't know.
You can. Do they have it? Do they have it up there? I feel stupid. Do they have it up there?
You got it up there. Listen. The Wiz jumped off, so I got to learn how to do some new things. So it's my turn now, right? It's my.
Yes, it
I
is.
got it back in the background.
Save the
So
best for
I'm
last.
gonna have it locked in. Yeah.
All right.
So peace. I'm your host, Big Goddess Yo. I absolutely love bringing all my wonderful goddesses here with me. I don't roll with anything less than what I see myself to be. You can find me on every social media platform at Fit Goddess Tribe. That's YouTube. That's TikTok. That's what else is there? Facebook, Instagram, and if you need to email me, if you would like services, for example, personal training, life coaching, we create events, and don't worry, we've got some stuff up for you just to make sure just outside there's going to be trainers to help. We're not just sitting here to do better. We also want to create that which you can participate in so that you can create a new habit, create a new routine, create a new lifestyle because you are deserving of it. So I hope you check us again soon. If you check that ticker down there, right? Coming to in April, Mom and I, we have a new show called To Heal. Oh, you're going to have to stay tuned because more conversations. I could just keep taking over my homeboy. So, but
you got to give it back.
It's been fun, ladies. I gotta give it back. Yeah, it's not mine. I took it over, but I gotta give it back now. So make sure you stay tuned. I'll still be on code to share my opinion, share my thoughts. But me and the goddesses, we too big for just this one show. We got to expand, like we said. So let me see. I got to find this thing here. Make sure y'all say y'all pieces, right? We love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to share this, right? Sharing is super caring. And we about to roll out, but I'm so glad that y'all tuned in. If y'all are watching this later, right? Throw a hashtag in there that y'all want to join the tribe. So when I come back, I can see who you are. Connect with us, connect with each other, and we'll check y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Here you go. You want to hear it? Here you go. Peace.